Let's start with something that most people never stop to question. We are taught to believe that if we are functioning, if we are showing up, completing tasks, fulfilling our responsibilities, then we must be okay. But that belief is wrong, and it is quietly damaging millions of people. You can be completely broken on the inside while appearing completely fine on the outside. In fact, the more responsible you are, the more likely this is happening to you right now. Because the people who fall apart first are not the ones who care too little. They are the ones who care too much for too long without stopping. So let me ask you something. When did you last feel genuinely light? Not just distracted, not just entertained, genuinely light, where your mind felt open, rested, and free. If you have to think hard to remember, this video is for you. If this kind of content speaks to you, the quiet, psychological kind, consider subscribing. Not because of algorithms, but because some things are worth returning to. You finished everything today. Every task, every message, every obligation, and now you're sitting in the quiet and you feel nothing. Not peace, not relief, just empty. You should feel good, but you don't. And the strangest part, you don't even know why. That feeling, right there, is not laziness, it is not weakness, it is something much more specific. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is happening inside you. The first sign is something almost everyone dismisses. You wake up tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. You wake up, and before the day has even begun, there is already a heaviness sitting in your chest, a quiet dread about what is ahead. Nothing dramatic, just a slow, gray weight. Most people assume this means they need more sleep, but here is the truth. It is not your body that is exhausted, it is your mind that never truly rested. Because even when your body sleeps, an overloaded mind keeps working, processing, replaying, planning, worrying. Your brain does not know how to switch off, so morning arrives and you are already depleted before the day starts. This is not a sleep problem, this is a mental recovery problem, and they are not the same thing. The second sign is quieter, easily overlooked. Simple things start to feel impossibly heavy. Not big tasks, small ones. Replying to a message, making a decision about what to eat, choosing what to watch. These micro decisions that used to require no effort at all now feel like climbing stairs with a weight on your back. There is a reason for this. Your brain runs on a finite amount of cognitive fuel each day. Think of it like a battery. Every decision, every emotional response, every act of self-control costs energy. When that battery drops low, the brain begins to shut down non-essential functions. What does it shut down first? Curiosity, creativity, emotional patience. The things that make you feel alive. What does it protect above everything else? Basic function, habit, obligation, the automatic. So you can still do your job, still respond, still appear fine, but the light inside you, the part that wonders, that plays, that feels genuinely interested, goes quiet. And you do not even notice it leaving. That is what makes this so dangerous. Imagine a person, maybe someone who looks a lot like you, sitting at their desk at the end of the day. Work is done, nothing urgent remains. They pick up their phone and start scrolling. Not because they want to, not because they are enjoying it, but because real rest, the kind that requires silence and stillness, feels too uncomfortable. Because real rest means facing what is actually there. And sometimes we are too tired to face what we are too tired to ignore. That is the third sign. You cannot rest even when you have the time. Rest has become unfamiliar. Silence feels loud, and so you fill every gap with low-effort stimulation, scrolling, background noise, anything to avoid the stillness. But here's the cruelty of it. That kind of stimulation does not restore you. It distracts you. And distraction and recovery are completely different things. Your mind does not heal through noise. It heals through quiet. There's a fourth sign, And if you've been feeling it, you already know what I'm about to say. Your patience has become thin. You get irritated faster. Small things bother you that used to slide right past. Someone speaks to you at the wrong moment, and the reaction inside you is bigger than it should be. You feel guilty about this. You wonder what is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. Something is depleted in you. Emotional regulation, the ability to pause before reacting, to stay calm under pressure, is an expensive mental function. When the brain is running low, it starts cutting corners, and one of the first corners it cuts is patience. Your irritability is not a character flaw, it's a warning signal. Your brain is telling you in the only language it has left that something needs to change. The fifth sign is more subtle, more private. You forget things, small things, where you put something, what you were about to say, a name, a detail. You find yourself reading the same sentence 3 times, starting tasks and drifting before they are finished. This is not age. This is not distraction in the ordinary sense. When the brain is chronically overwhelmed, mental working, your ability to hold and process information in the moment, begins to falter. Because the mental resources that support focus and recall are being diverted to more urgent tasks, like managing your emotions, like keeping you functional, like getting you through the day. The forgetfulness is not the problem. The forgetfulness is the symptom. Now here is where most advice goes wrong. Most people, when they finally recognize they are burned out, are told to rest. Take a holiday, do less, slow down. And that is not wrong, but it is incomplete. Because real recovery requires something most people are afraid to do. It requires honest examination, not of your schedule, of your life. What is actually depleting you? Not the surface things, the workload, the deadlines, but the deeper things. The relationship that takes without giving. The role you perform every day that has nothing to do with who you actually are. The obligation you carry that was never really yours. The version of yourself you maintain for everyone else while the real one goes quiet. Until you ask those questions honestly, not defensively, not briefly, you are not recovering. You are resting so you can return to the same depletion. Rest without honesty is just a pause. There is one more thing that needs to be said. Boundaries. Not the kind people talk about casually, the real kind. The kind that require you to disappoint someone, to say no to something that sounds reasonable, to choose your own restoration over someone else's convenience. The brain does not deplete itself in one dramatic moment. It depletes slowly, through hundreds of small surrenders. Small moments where you said yes when your whole body said no, where you gave time you did not have, where you stayed when leaving would have been the honest choice. Recovery means closing those leaks, one by one, not harshly, not angrily, but firmly. Because you cannot pour from what has already run dry. So here is where we arrive. You are not lazy. You never were. You are someone who has been functioning at a high level for a long time on an empty tank. You have been mistaking endurance for health, productivity for peace, survival for thriving. And now your mind, quiet, patient, and finally heard, is asking you to stop. Not to stop forever, just long enough to be honest. Long enough to ask the harder questions. Long enough to find the silence that actually restores you, instead of the noise that only delays what you feel. You do not need to become a different person. You just need to stop abandoning the one you already are. That is not a small thing. That is everything.